Welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo 2 episode 49. So, now that we have completed the Gran Turismo World League, and of course I shall officially be getting on with the endurance event as soon as I've completed this, I'm now going to move over to the other side of the game. And that is essentially why you saw at the top this says arcade mode disc, and that's essentially what this is. So we are now on the arcade mode disc, and even though I haven't revealed to you me changing the disc run over to the arcade mode disc, this is officially the arcade mode main screen. So we are going to head over of course to single player, and as you can see here by these bonus items, we also have sections in arcade mode. I shall be revealing to you all of those sections as we trundle along through this mode of the game, and then as soon as I'm done with this, I shall return to simulation mode to get on with the endurance events. So, I'm going to head over into single player. We also get 3 game selections here as we get road race, rally and time trial. I shall be showing off all of those as we go along. We also get 3 difficulties here, easy, normal and difficult, and well, because I want to show off all the content, obviously I'm going for difficult. And also, to start this off, I'm going to head over to C class, and as for the car I'm going to use, well, I've said before that I really wanted to use this car in the game, and obviously I haven't been able to do so yet, and so I think now is the perfect time for me to use this car. So I'm gonna drive the Moto Cougar for race 1 and also choose the racing settings because fuck drift settings pretty much. And so we get 3 tracks here as we've got Tahiti Road, Midfield Raceway and High Speed Ring for the green section, and obviously because Tahiti Road is the first track, that's obviously going to be the first race. And also, this is not my first attempt of recording this because, well, in my previous attempt I accidentally did the Super Speedway race, and then I eventually realised that track was in the blue section, and so I'm basically just trying this again, pretty much. But anyways, this is our first race in arcade mode. And so the cars we have in this race are a Peugeot 206 with a Suzuki Alto Works, a Citroen Zara is also in this event, along with a VW Golf GTI, and also an MGF is at the front. As I am already up into second. After only 1 sector of this circuit, I have already taken the lead in our first race of arcade mode. So, coming through to completing lap 1, as I clearly have what is probably an OP car for this event, considering I would probably think I'll be winning this with relative ease. Unless I crash. And also, all the way at the back, that is probably the Suzuki Alto Works, who clearly has a UP car, underpowered, compared to the rest of us. And also over time I may also reveal the cars in my garage, and I may use, you know, possibly one or two of those if I feel like it. But hopefully if it's possible it won't be too much of an overpowered car, even though the truth is, coincidentally, most of the cars I have in my garage right now are probably overpowered, but yeah, you know. So, the completion of race number 1, and it already looks like it is going to be an easy W, and indeed it is. I win race 1. Ahead of the MGF, who was second, then was the 206 in third, the VW Golf was in fourth, then it was the Citroen Zara fifth, and at the back it was the Suzuki Alto Works, who finally finishes a staggering 22.3 seconds behind the rest of us. Christ almighty, that is massive compared to where the rest of us were running. But yeah, I win at Tahiti Road by a second, driving my Ford/Mercury Cougar. And I'm not going to save a replay because, well, I think for my thumbnails in arcade mode, I'll mainly just focus on seeing what shots I'll get for the cars I use in the races, and well, there we are. So, as you can see there by the white background with the outlined circle, there of course where I did Tahiti Road, that officially means we have won the race on difficult mode, and of course the R in the middle of the yellow background is effectively showing that we have unlocked the reverse course. And well, because also we unlock a new car, but anyways. So I think because the reverse courses do not give us any further unlocks in arcade mode, unfortunately, I'm just going to press along to race number 2 at Midfield Raceway. And as for the car I'm going to use, well, I learned in the previous attempt not to use the Audi TT because, well, even though that car does have the grip in the corners, it's also very heavy. So I'm not going to use the TT, but what I am going to use, if I can find it, is this. The Plymouth PT Spider. Switching over to manual transmission and heading over of course to the racing settings and to Midfield Raceway. And as you can see down there, we have unlocked the reverse course, but well, because it has no relevance to me in any way, shape or form, obviously I'm not going to bother with that, so let's just head to Midfield Raceway for race number 2. And also, furthermore, I'm not gonna lie, that is actually a good shot of the Plymouth. Not gonna lie. And we have 2 Fiat Coupes in this race, along with a Honda S2000, a BMW 3 Series, and a Mercedes 320. As I'm overshifting just a little there, but already up, of course, into 5th position, since I do have a car that's capable of beating the Honda, and I'm already forcing my way past the S2000 up into 3rd position, as I am now behind the 2 Fiat Coupes, and battling for the lead, as one of them just goes for a sudden dive and... oh shit. Okay. It's alright, we're fine. I'm still on circuit. already I am on the inside and taking the lead here at Midfield Raceway. And going straight to the inside to defend my position from the two Fiats and the Honda, which are currently lurking in my shadow, or lurking in my mirrors I should say. And already I am extending the interval, because this car has nimbleness, and nimbleness on circuits like these is important. So, I am currently out in front ahead of the S2K, and then it is the two Fiats followed by one of the Mercs that is currently trailing me. And whoever is at the back, I would probably estimate it's the Beamer, but we'll just have to wait and see. Meanwhile, I of course am up at the front in my Plymouth PT Spider, looking very much like I'm on course to another W in arcade mode, since this is only my second race in arcade mode. My inaugural race, I secured victory, and it looks like at the moment I am currently on course to do so again. Unless I know the S2K suddenly manages to pass me down the straight. Drag race style, of course. As I am defending the inside line, and it is W number 2 in arcade mode. Victory is secure in the first two races, as it was the Fiat Coupe in third, followed by the Mercedes CLK 320 Sport in fourth, then it was the other Fiat in fifth, and at the back it was the BMW 328i, aka the BMW 3 Series. But yes, 2 races down, 1 to go. Hopefully, if we are fortunate, we can win at High Speed Ring on only our first attempt. And as for the car I'm going to use, well, I'm going to use this, the TommykairaZZ-S. And as for the colour, well, yeah, I'll use it in blue. To our third and final race of the green section in arcade mode, it is officially High Speed Ring. Driving my TommykairaZZ-S. So we have a Mazda RX-7 FD in the field, along with the Skyline GTR R34, a Chevy Corvette Coupe, a Lancia Evo 6, and we have a Mustang Cobra. As I'm shifting up into second to avoiding the wheel spin. And at the moment I'm already anticipating I have made a mistake, because at the moment I do not have the speed down the straights to keep up with these AI. Well, I guess I'm going to have to rely on the corners, even though essentially overall I am driving an underpowered car. But in spite of that, this car does have good acceleration through the corners. And so I think that's essentially where I'm going to have to target most of my resilience on this thing. Not down the straights, but through the corners, as I'm already running wide and getting a little loose there. And also blocking the pony car from overtaking me. Or the snake riding pony car, I should say, because that's technically what it is, a pony car with a snake. as I am already up into 4th and getting into a slipstream at the moment with the GTR, trying to see of course if we can catch up to the leaders, and I'm planning to overtake. I have got past the skyline for 3rd. I am now up into 3rd position behind the Corvette and going around the outside and managing to avoid making hard contact with the wall as I'm suddenly going for a dive, and I cannot believe that actually worked. I actually pulled off a dive bomb. That actually worked. For once in my life, I pulled off a dive bomb that actually worked. As I am now up into the lead. And hopefully I can hold on to the lead. In my Tommykaira. My minuscule and very nimble Tommykaira. But fortunately for me, it does have the acceleration to win, and that's precisely what it does. As it looks like the Corvette is already passing me, even though the race has already finished. So I won by half a second over the Chevrolet Corvette Coupe, who was 2nd. Then it was the FD in 3rd, followed by the GTR V Spec R34 in 4th. Then it was the Mustang in 5th, and at the back it was the Lancer Evo 6. And also, furthermore, that was a close race. I mean the gap only just over 1.25 seconds from 1st to 6th. That is impressive, BTW. So, now that we have done the races that we need to do, I of course am going to show off the dirt track we get from the green section, and that is Tahiti Dirt Route 3. So we're going to head down to rally mode and obviously select a rally car, and we also get some pretty unique choices here, including the 2 different colour schemes of the focus, which I really like. And we've got some fairly interesting options here. I did think about using the Pulsar. You know what, fuck it, I'll use the Pulsar, considering this is basically just a time trial, and that's essentially what I'm going to do. So, Tahiti Dirt, Route 3, in my Nissan Pulsar. And since we don't have to compete against anyone, this is basically just a time trial. And that's essentially what I'm going to do. So, yeah. And I should probably also mention, with these time trials you also get rolling starts, as I just noticed. So, basically what it is I'm going to do is basically just 2 laps around Tahiti Dirt Route 3, and then obviously you shall get the idea of how exactly you can officially set a lap around one of the dirt courses. And well, the reason why I just thought about doing this is, well, because I'm cool like that, essentially. So yeah, there is that. So everything going relatively smoothly at the moment, as I have not crashed this car yet. I managed to set myself up for a clean lap, and already completing my first lap of Tahiti Dirt Route 3 with this car in all of its finest opulences. and I am already off to a much better start on this lap, because this is probably going to be a much faster lap than my previous one was, considering I was caught out by the rolling start thingy that I apparently discovered is on the dirt tracks, as I'm just clipping the wall a little bit there, or the fence I should say, because that's what it realistically is. And currently 2.3 seconds ahead of my first lap ghost, and as long as I do not crash, then I should be able to set myself up for something reasonable here. And wow, holy shit, I'm nearly 4 seconds ahead of my ghost now. So this is a much better lap than my previous one. And somehow it does look like it shall be a quicker lap as well, as I just clipped the wall at the last moment, but I don't think there was any harm done there, as I now cross the line and only 2 seconds quicker as a result of that. But again, it was still faster, and in my honest opinion, I don't give a shit about improving my lap time that much. So my name is already entered, and yeah, that's basically it. So, the green section of arcade mode is now complete. And so next up shall be the blue section. Correction, the cyan section of the arcade mode. So with that, stay tuned for more GT2.